Hello everybody and welcome to another Release Notes video. I'm here again in my trusty Web Manuals hoodie, ready to go. This time I unfortunately do not have a development branch to work on, meaning that I will not be able to show you anything before we've actually released. And since I want this video out as early as possible, or at least with the release, I won't be showing anything today. It is a choice of my own making though, because there is not much to show, so I should be able to explain everything. That said, I will of course make sure to have a development branch for you in the future so we can actually show you things before they even happen. A look into that future. The accept reject bar now will follow you as you read through a page in the reader. We already had that in the editor, and we heard from a lot of people that it would be nice to have in the reader as well. So now, as you are a reviewer in the reader, the revision bar will follow you along as you scroll through the document. Yay! In Settings and Designer, we have added a new CSS editor so that everybody doing custom code in the CSS designer will be able to actually have a proper code designer, thereby marking special characters, and it will not be able to save in case the code is faulty, thereby ensuring that quality is up. Also in the designer, we have actually made it possible to rename a design now. It was actually removed by mistake in the new UI, and of course everybody should be able to rename their designs, especially now with the new UI where everybody actually has access to create and work on logos and things like that in their designs. And the last thing, in designs as well, if we are adding an item, we can now change the add properties to an item, say a list. Said list can have its properties changed. It now has a little plus, and thereby extra properties can be added faster. This will make no sense to people who are not working in design, and it will make a lot of sense to people who are working in design. Moving on to bug fixes. In the reviewer, we had an issue with our password protected workflow. Only a tiny percentage of you are using it, but those of you who are using it find it to be very, very important. So the point is that if you're using password protected, you need to type a password to move a page in a workflow level, to move a page a workflow level. And that said, there was an issue there with the new UI that is now fixed. So now you can actually move through a workflow using a password protected system. Also, in regards to reviewer, we fixed an issue that caused reviewers to not be able to add comments to file documents. That is now fixed. So now reviewers can push out comments as much as they want. Let's see, we fixed, we had an issue in the editor where if you manually numbered or a chapter, if you set that numbering to be 003, for example, it would cut the first zeros and just call it 3, which is not correct for everybody, and that would actually cause issues to some. So now it will no longer remove the first zeros, and it will just be 003 or whatever you want it to be. But the point is, you can have those early zeros as well. We fixed a content padding on odd even pages so that if we are using odd and even pages, the odd and even header and footer will follow the odd and even page, so everything makes sense. Again, this will only make sense to the few people who has had that issue. We had a problem with drafting pages, not with drafting them, but the fact that a copy of a drafted page in the background would actually be created if somebody pressed draft multiple times in the wrong circumstances. This will no longer happen, and now there will only be one drafted page in the background, solving that problem altogether. So those of you who had that issue will no longer have to talk to support every third hour or some such. And two more things. We had an issue where the word export would freeze if it met large images. The point was that it would simply time out with our server. That does no longer happen. So now the word export should work a lot better. If you're still finding it to be slow, try to reduce the size of the images you're using, and then the word export should be a lot more lean. And the very last thing, we had an issue with the Windows app that would cause the manually numbered chapters to not adhere on the Windows app. And that is now fixed, and the Windows app will now follow the correct numbering. A small patch this time, and I hope you, or a small release, I hope you enjoy it, and I will have more release notes for you next month. Have a lovely day. Bye.